Hello, my name is Nancy Hay. On this Father's Day weekend, I would like to wish a happy Father's Day, especially to all of the fathers who have been unjustly separated from their children by Child Protective Services and/or family courts. If you've been following my videos on Arlington Independent Media and/or YouTube, you know that my daughter was unjustly removed from my husband and myself on false charges of neglect, which were later overturned, simply because she lost a few ounces after birth, which is common for most babies. However, even after we were absolved of these charges, Arlington CPS forged ahead to terminate our parental rights and place our child for adoption with a politically connected couple. The series of court trials we went through to regain custody of our child were like something out of Alice in Wonderland. We were always assumed guilty in spite of any evidence to the contrary. Lacking any juries in the family court system, we were always at the mercy of biased judges paid by the government. Throughout this, my husband and I were both demonized by CPS. I was accused of being severely autistic and incapable of responding to our daughter's needs, and my husband was accused of being potentially violent. This is in spite of the fact that I have an IQ of 130 and was on the dean's list in college, and my husband has no criminal record. We have both been gainfully employed for over 20 years. More information about our case is on our website, which is listed on this sign. Holidays like Mother's Day and Father's Day are times when it is most painful for parents to be without their children. My own father, God rest his soul, lost custody of his first son from his first marriage due to a biased divorce court which granted exclusive custody to his ex-wife. This was something which affected my father profoundly for the rest of his life. On YouTube are thousands of stories of good parents whose children have been taken by CPS on false charges. Following service plans set out for these families by CPS made no difference to the outcome of their cases, as CPS workers had their minds made up from the beginning, as they did in our case, that they were never going to return the children to the parents. All of our stories really show that what the late Nancy Schaefer said was correct. That keeping families together and protecting children are not the main goals of Child Protective Services. They have financial incentives to tear families apart, as encouraged by the Child Abuse Prevention and Treatment Act and the Adoption and Safe Families Act. These pieces of legislation have effectively created an adoption industry where children are bought and sold to the highest bidders. There is much that we can do to honor the legacy of Nancy Schaefer. There are groups on MySpace and Facebook that you can join to call for an independent investigation of her untimely death. We can also help to push forward the kinds of legislation that she initiated to take the financial incentives out of the child welfare system. Contact your members of Congress and ask them to repeal CAPTA and ASFA. This is how we can ensure that Ms. Schaefer's death is not in vain. True justice will prevail when all of the children are back where they belong with their loving parents.
I can answer.